Welcome to your first scooter lesson. What we want to show you today is the first lesson that we would take someone out on to give them an introduction to the sport. So on the scooter, if you've ever ridden a bicycle or a skateboard, or a snowboard or skis, it is basically balanced. So like these are very well balanced and designed, and they perform well. Right hand is back brake, left hand is front brake, and the main point with the scooter is to not have all your weight over the front or all of it over the back, but to be feeling comfortable and balanced. So I'll do a demonstration of a figure 8 where you'll see me changing my body position. If I'm going to put the brakes on, I'm going to push back a little bit to be prepared for the brakes wanting to push me forward. There we go. When I'm on the scooter, I tend to stand goofy foot. I am left-footed, so stand like that. You can also stand like that, right? But I find most comfortable, and I'll change around right as that. There's one in front of the other slightly. I just do a couple figure 8s and just put the brakes on. You'll see that just like the electric scooter, you put the brakes on, your body wants to go forward, so push back. So now that we've tried driving the scooter, remembering right hand is back brake, left hand is front brake, let's discuss the gang line and how we command and maintenance and control of the gang line. So here we have a 2-dog team, and that's what you'll be running for your first trip here today. Have you ever pulled a trailer or a boat behind a vehicle? Okay, if you haven't, or you have, the bottom line is that the trailer, we want to be a good trailer behind our vehicle. So we're going to consider the dogs to be the vehicle and the scooter is the trailer. We don't want to have a gang line that's banging up and down, bouncing around, twirling. That's uncomfortable and unsafe for the dogs, and if they're constantly slamming their shoulders into the harness, then it's uncomfortable and they don't trust leaning into the harness. So we use our brakes with minor adjustments, not big yanking, just small finger movements in and out to maintain a constant pull on the gang line. And if we're going up a hill, we'll release our brakes a bit, over the top, medium brake, going down, harder brakes, so that this gang line stays like this. Doesn't matter whether we're climbing, descending, or on level terrain. When you want to stop and you're going to be distracted, turn your wheel slightly off, say 40 degrees, like 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. All right, if a dog suddenly saw a squirrel, they're less likely to take off without you with the scooter. So I was mentioning about the truck, being a good truck, right? This is what we don't want. So when you see it dipping, brakes. But you don't want so much brakes that you slow your dog down. Because when a dog's up at speed and moving, it's far easier to keep it there than to slow it down and try and get back up. Slow it down, try and get back up. Eventually you slow it down, it's just going to stay at that speed. But you wanted it. So brakes are subtle. I'm literally, quarter inch in and almost quarter inch right out. Why? Because I went over something or I went down and up something, right? And that would be normal flat. Downhill, brakes for your comfort level. And on downhill, bend our knees to lower our leverage. Graydon, you're tall. Downhills, or anytime you feel like you're going through something unstable, bend your knees down so that your lower center of balance, you're not so tippy, and push your arms almost straight so your weight is over your back wheel, because that's going to make the back wheel effective on a downhill. And again, back brake harder, front brake next for speed control. If the front wheel starts to slide on some wet grass or something, release and grab again, release and grab again. Extreme conditions, Kat and I have run down hills with only the back brake and what we call an outrigger, where one foot sliding on the ground to give you stability, and you are accelerating to the bottom because it's too wet to be able to slow down anymore. That won't happen to us today, but as we develop, you'll experience that. For command and control, when you're ready to go, first we use the dog's name. Always give a command by saying the dog's name first, because that way your dog knows who you're talking to. So for an example, we can say Carl. Carl, ready? Hike up, or hike is traditional go command. If we're coming to an intersection, four-way, and I want to go straight through, I'm going to say straight on by. If I want to go left, dog's left, I'm going to say ha. If I want to go right, I'm going to say G. Okay? If we're going down the trail and we're going to try and pass somebody, and we'll deal with this as we go along, somebody with a dog, for example, I would say G over to the other side from where they are, or ha over, which tells my dog over is don't turn, just go to the other side of the trail, whereas ha or G clean means turn. If we want to stop the dogs, we say whoa, stop. Put the brakes on when you say stop. If you have an emergency and you forget to say whoa, stop, don't forget to use your brakes. Other commands to consider: if I'm going down starting to go down a steeper hill, I can say steady as I put more brakes on, and let the dogs know that I want them to walk down the hill, not load. So if you want to go down a hill slower, don't let the dogs start onto the hill at high speed. Slow them down, then go onto the slope and maintain the speed you want going down the slope. If you come onto the slope really fast and hot, you might not be able to slow down, in which case you're more likely to have a crash. If I hit a T-junction and I wanted to turn around, you tap your leg on which side you want them to turn, and I'd either say ha back, or people say ha come, either one, or G back or G come. And a good team will wait, pair by pair. You've just done a 180, you're going back down the trail. I'm not trying to make the dogs have too much to pull, because that tires them out, but I want just enough pull that they are keeping I'm keeping a smooth gang line and keeping them comfortable in their harness. Last one then, where we're stopping, whoa, stop. Now, if you need to stop in an emergency, use your brakes and stop. And then say, whoa, stop. Okay? Forget about the command. If you need to stop, stop. Right? If we keep our dogs safe, we keep us safe. When I mean you want to correct them on not chasing game into the woods and going by, first thing is preempt it and get on it before they do it. You can see them thinking about it, right? Well, that's when you react, not after they've started. When you see it, you're suspecting it, start speaking. And up a hill, things like hut hut, come on, pull, that's it, let's go, right? Earn your dinner. The biggest thing, don't repeat chivies, don't nag. You say the same thing to the dog 5 times, it stops listening to you. So for now, we finished the briefing, we're ready to stage and get our dogs and put them on the scooter. So I'm going to take my scooter to somewhere secure. I could use this picnic table. We'll use this tree right here. You want to see a maneuver for moving your scooter around quickly, put your foot underneath the bed and just kick it. And your scooters are out. All right, we're going to put our gang line out because we're taking off in that direction. So we want to secure the scooter behind the tree. And we want to do it in a manner that as we're loading the team and getting ready, if the dogs lunge and pull, they can't take off. If they come in a different direction, they can't take off with your scooter. If your scooter isn't firmly behind this tree, out on an angle, instead of directly behind the object, the dogs can easily pull it away from your block. And now you're running off, dragging your expensive scooter down the trail, damaging. So always make sure it's firmly behind whatever you're using as a block or parking brake. Another good habit when you're setting lines up, even during breathing breaks on the trail, have a quick look at your gang line. If it's twisted or turned in any way, take the time to straighten it out. By doing the maintenance of keeping your gangline straight throughout trips, you'll save yourself a lot of breakage. Some of these ganglines are over 10 years old because we look after them. We also wash the ganglines when they get filled with sand and dirt. The full harness is ideal for dog sledding because it goes from the dog's bum, gangline down to a sled.
Yeah.
But anytime you're going from a dog up to me ski-juring to the scooter fork, then you want a short harness. And the reason is the dog's back end can swing and is not confined, and you don't have a harness that's half peeling up all the webbings in the air. You know, a short harness like this wouldn't work on a sled, but because we're steering, and on skis we're steering, and our gangline's going in the opposite direction, we don't want to have a harness pulling on the dog's bums while we steer. So going to the shoulder allows the whole back end freedom, and then they're harnessed where they should be, like a proper athletic backpack, right?
And how do you know that it's the right fit?
Okay, biggest one right here, shoulders. If it's too wide and long, then it's falling onto the shoulders, and it's be like having backpack straps on the outside of your shoulders. So you want it in close, the same as we would want a pack, comfortable. So that's the first check. Next check is length, that it comes back past onto the rib cage to the back end of the ribs here. See where the ribs end and the harness strap is? There. What you don't want is too tight around the armpit, shoulder, so that it's rubbing and chasing as they're running.
Makes sense.
Those are your two primary. And now, with the scooter going up, his whole back end can move under freedom. And if we steer, we're not bringing it with us. The way we like to run, because a lot of people focus on sprinting, and my dog wants to go as fast as it can for 3 to 5 kilometers. And that's not a normal dog's, like if they were out without humans, that's not normally how they function. We run the way they run normally, and sometimes your scooter trip turns into a half a walk and a half a scooter trip. It all depends on your dog that day, right? Temperatures, everything else.
Just like us, we don't want to go full blast every single day.
They're not
either.
machines, and they're intelligent, and they have their own personalities, right? And so we're kind of asking to work with another athlete. We're not jumping on, they're not our mountain bike, they're not the scooter, they're not our skis. They're a fellow being that we're asking to work with. So that's where you're going to find we put most of our focus. This part's easy. Doesn't really matter what's back there. What's most important is if I look after my dog, then we have a great trip, and I can run tomorrow because I didn't injure it today. And again, can I run when it's 8 years old? Not if I injure it at 2 because I went too fast. I overran it. If it lies down and panting and wants a break, it needs a break. And for us, find the shadiest area and take 5 minutes out. We put our helmets on, then we can load our dog, and away we go.